Hello, this is Monitru. Just recording a video just for another quick update to do with the Johnny Come Lately podcast. Lack thereof, once again. Yeah, a bit of a strange time at the moment. Cambrian himself has been quite busy. A socially heavy period of the year for him, so he's been a little occupied. I've been a little occupied myself, not as much as him, but last update video I kind of mentioned I was sick. Since then my partner's been a bit sick, so that's kind of been fun. They are doing better and they're also tested and they don't have the COVID. So what I was going to do, I was going to post another couple of quick videos. What the plan was to do a little tour around this room, like my studio / gym / storeroom / other crap. I'm kind of in the middle of still sorting some things out. I've been moving some stuff around. I've been putting new things into the room, so it's in a bit of a state. And I kind of want to do a little bit of a tour once it's sorted. Probably tomorrow, to be honest. There's just a few things that need sort of put in place and cleared up, and then I will feel a bit more comfortable myself about sharing. But on the subject of sharing, thought I'd do a quick little video on a story that some of you may have heard, may not have heard, but it is kind of interesting. And you know, if I'm going to bore you with conversation, I may as well bore you with a story time. Now, trigger warning, shall we say. If you don't like the idea of looking at internal organs, like on display in a jar, feel free to log off, because the rest of this video is discussing that very topic. Here is a heart in a jar. It is an animal heart, which I have to specify, and there's a reason I have to specify that, which you will find out in a moment. This I didn't buy in this condition. I bought all these items, but individually. I actually pickled this myself. I got the heart from a butcher's, got the jar from wherever. It was most likely some coffee. And the liquid it's sitting in, which is pickled and preserved it, is isopropyl alcohol, like 99.99%, as in too deadly to drink. Let's start at the beginning. A little bit of background about me and my friend circle. So I don't particularly hang around any particular sort of clique, you might say. I've got kind of a mixed, small amount of friends. I've got more acquaintances than friends, let's just say. I've got a handful of friends, but lots of acquaintances. One of the groups some of my acquaintances fall into tend to be sort of gothic alternative. So a lot of things, you know, skulls, morbid stuff, and you know, I'm a big fan of morbid shit myself. I mean, right here is it's a bit covered up. It's a self-portrait of me that I did as a corpse on the slab. You've probably seen this in the background of a few Johnny Come Latelys if you watch those. So you know, I'm kind of into that stuff myself, and I don't know. I got in my head that I wanted to try preservation. Turns out one of the easiest ways to do it is to buy isopropyl, because you can buy it relatively cheap in large quantities. I used to have quite a large jerry can of it in this room, which I've just gradually used over time. So one of the things was this. The heart in a jar. I also did this, which is a lot harder to see. This is a kidney in a jar. Animal, once again, from a butcher's. And these are octopus. Like tiny octopus in a jar. They're kind of just in there for storage, because what I did do with those is I actually got some small jars like this. I put like little pickled ones in each one and kind of had them as a presentation thing. Oh, this is a very short-lived crafts idea, but this is probably the best thing I've got. It is a heart in a jar surrounded in barbed wire. So yeah, but why did I do this? It seemed, I don't know, I just had a morbid idea, and I do have like friends and acquaintances who appreciate some stuff like that, you know, like specimens, taxidermy. So I thought, okay, let's try this out for a while. Maybe I could sell some. This was a few years ago. Now, the story I want to tell is this. For a little while, I worked in a particular office. I'm not going to say what the company was. It's not terribly important. It was just your typical office environment, like inbound, outbound calls, dealing with customer queries kind of things. Time to just get on to what this title is. Believe it or not, the title of this video is not clickbait. And you can probably guess what's happened. So, a little while after I had this idea but kind of gave up on it, I started working at this office. One of the colleagues I would sit next to was, very into their gothic stuff, and they mentioned things like taxidermy, which was so cool. So I thought I would gift them this, which they might appreciate it. I also gifted someone else one of these octopus in a mini jar. So one day at work, stupid me, I know, and believe me, you'll see how stupid I am for this. I brought in this heart into the office. Now, apart from it grabbing a few people's attentions, not much happened, to be honest. I gave it to the person who I intended to give it to. They really appreciated it, had it on their desk, and then they put it away, and I thought that was it. I gave her their heart, she appreciated it, just going to take it home, and then didn't have to think about it anymore. It was done. So I came back into work the next day. Things seemed fairly normal. I sat at my computer as usual, and I got pulled aside by a supervisor, and it wasn't just like the office supervisor, it was also the agency supervisor. The temp agency I was a part of was there. They asked me to come into a room off to the side, which I did. It was all very quiet and serious. I wasn't completely sure what this was about. And there was a security fella there. Sat me down, and I don't remember the full details, but basically presented this to me once again. And said there'd been some concerns about me in the office. One of the other things I used to have with me was a small knife as well. It was like a credit card knife, which I just kept in my wallet. I like keeping little gadgets in my wallet. I don't have it with me, but I have those little credit card tools in that as well. But anyway, I used to use this like small knife to do mainly just things like cut up slices of apple to eat, and what you use knives for, really. So it wasn't anything major. Again, I probably shouldn't have had that now, like really thinking about it, but to me, maybe I'm just a bit abnormal. It didn't occur to me at all. So they mentioned I was seen with that, and apparently someone had reported they'd seen me cutting up tablets and pills with it, which totally bullshit. The only thing I can think of someone might have mistaken that is if I had, like, say, a packet of paracetamol and I like sort of used it to like separate them out, so I had like a strip there ready to use. That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, supposedly someone had seen me cutting up medication. This thing was still there because the person I give it to didn't take it home with them. I don't know why. Maybe they liked it on their desk, maybe they didn't have room in their bag, but it was still in the office, basically. So someone said, "Oh, what's that?" And rather than say, "Oh, it's this person's, she has it on her desk," I was obviously immediately identified as the person who brought this thing in, and they no shit asked me right there, two supervisors, security guy looking at me like a police interrogation, "Is this human?" So I was like, what do you say to that? It's just like, so apparently, I don't know, they thought, well, was I Hannibal Lecter? I just went home, used one of my knives, eviscerated the person, and then brought in a heart in a jar for a snack. Just carrying that grisly evidence around with me. So yeah, asked me if it was human. For the record, I think it's probably, I can't remember if it's pig or cow, probably cow. I said no. They looked like very concerned and worried. They asked me about the knife. I said, well, yeah, I just have it. I use it to cut up fruit and that. They asked me why did I bring the heart in. Again, I told them the truth. It was like well, yeah, it's a sort of project I have going on with preservation, specimens in jars, that sort of thing. A colleague is interested in it, so I brought it in, and probably rightfully they said, well, place of work isn't like the place of that, and I was like, okay, fair enough. So here's me expecting a warning, but nope, it was no warning. It was basically, well, we can't have you working here anymore, and so yeah, that was kind of a shock. I can't remember if I protested much. I probably just asked, well, why? Yeah, okay, I won't do this again. And basically said it was like unacceptable. And yeah, that was pretty much it. They terminated me right on the spot. I got my stuff together, said, okay, I'll just go and get my things. And they're like, no, we'll get your things. And I don't know if they were wondering if I was lying about it being an animal heart, or if they still suspect I was a security threat, because I was just escorted directly out. They gave me back the heart in the jar, so, at the end of the day, this person didn't even get to keep their gift, so that kind of sucked. So, I was escorted out the door, my bag, my coat, my things, and a heart in a jar. And yeah, that's a story of how I got fired from that company, because they suspected I disemboweled someone, I guess. Like, my friends who were like, I told the story about at the time, just thought it was fucking hilarious. And they still bring it up every so often. Like, my employers thought I was Hannibal Lecter. But, yeah, that was scary, though, because I kind of expected to get back home and to have police waiting at the door, to do a search or an investigation, just to say, oh, like, how many bodies am I hiding around the place? But no, there was nothing of that. So apparently I was deemed enough a risk to warrant firing, but once I'm out the building, they don't care. So for all they know, I did have a larder full of, hands, feet, kidneys, and whatever. So, moral of the story, don't bring pickled organs into your place of employment. You will likely get pulled into a meeting and asked to leave the building and never come back. So, yeah, random little story time there. I'll probably still do a little tour video, possibly tomorrow once it's done, but, the Johnny Come Lately's channel was a little bare, so I thought I'd throw this on there on my regular channel. So, pickling organs and bringing them into work. Don't do it.